बिल मिले आसानी से।
చాలా ట్రై చేశాను రా.
నన్ను ఎక్కడ ఎరికించావు?
रथी आरती जान
RGUKT-ISB Collaborative Capacity Building Program signifies a harmonious alliance between two esteemed institutes, RGUKT and ISB, dedicated to fostering academic excellence and innovation. In the course of this program, we aim to empower our students with valuable knowledge, skills, and experiences that will shape their future and contribute to the betterment of society. As we move forward with inauguration, I encourage all of you to engage fully and participate actively and embrace the wealth of knowledge and opportunities that this program offers. Let's all create an atmosphere of enthusiasm, learning, and collaboration. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge and express our gratitude to all the individuals who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this event possible. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. We thank you for your unwavering support. Once again, thank you for joining us today. Now, I request our music team to start this auspicious occasion with a prayer song. Let's welcome them.
Rajiv. Hello.
श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे 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 श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे हम भजे हम भजे हम भजे तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे सन्ततमहं सुञ्जरमुखं शङ्करसुतं तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे सन्ततमहं कुञ्जरमुखं शङ्करसुतं तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे सन्ततमहं दन्तिसुन्दरमुखम् अन्तकान्तकसुतं तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे सन्ततमहं दन्तिसुन्दरमुखम् अन्तकान्तकसुतं तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे हम भजे हम भजे हम भजे तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे सेवित सुरेन्द्र महनीय गुणशीलम् सेवित सुरेन्द्र महनीय गुणशीलं जप तप समाधि सुख वरदानुकूलं सेवित सुरेन्द्र महनीय गुणशीलं जप तप समाधि सुख वरदानुकूलं भावित सुरमुनिगण भक्त परिपालं भयंकर विषंग मातंग कुलकालं श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे सेवित सुरेन्द्र महनीय गुणशीलं जप तप समाधि सुख वरदानुकूलं भावित सुरमुनिगण भक्त परिपालं भयंकर विषंग मातंग कुलकालं श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे हम भजे हम भजे हम भजे तमिह श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे श्रीविघ्नराजं भजे
ధన్యవాదాలు.
Now I request all the dignitaries to join for lighting of lamp. Now I kindly request our yoga team to take their positions on the stage where they mesmerize us with their captivating performance. As they prepare to showcase their expertise, I encourage each and every one of you to embrace this opportunity to witness the physical and spiritual benefits of the yoga. They are going to perform rhythmic yoga for the song Vande Mataram and Laya yoga for the song Namami Gange.
Ah
Ganges, the Bhagirathi, or the Janhavi, the thought sprouting a sacred sense of emotion fragranced in the bosoms of Indians. The holy Ganges, an elixir of life for billions of Indians, and the fifth biggest river in the world hasn't got its prominence originated only from the cultural and the spiritual motives. It has been the utmost means of support for 40% of Indians since ages. Despite the serene Himalayan charm and reputation of the Ganges, a pitiable unfortunate status predominated, incurred the 7th position amongst the most polluted rivers in the world by 2007. Agonized us, envisioned us the impended hazard, scheduled a designed reformation for the purification of the catharsis in 1985, but remained the biggest debacle in reality. Recognizing the incredible eminence of the Ganges, our Indian government catalogued the progress of purification under the monetary concerns. The initiative of absolute pollution impediment as an essential objective, the central government, for the complete protection of the Ganges, bringing back the purification and glory, launched Namami Gange. High time for every citizen to act as modern Bhagiratha, to protect and spread the fragrance of the glory of the sacred Ganges, brought onto the earth by Bhagiratha with his strenuous efforts. The bitter truth in reality is, not only the Ganges, but all the rivers in India have emerged conspicuously pollution pools. To be sanitized, the lakes, the ponds, and the other reservoirs, besides the rivers, an holy oath to be taken with the efforts of every individual. For this magnificent and spiritual yajna, we, the students of Yogashala, RGUKT-ISB, Andhra Pradesh, being the responsible citizens, determined with indomitable spirit to instill consciousness and awareness in the minds of public, contributing a little like a squirrel in the Ramayana, through the echoes of Jagat Guru Sri Adi Shankaracharya's sloka, Namami Gange, demonstrates in the form of Laya Yoga in thine venerable presence.
भगवती तव तीरे नीरवाद्राशनोऽहम् भगवती तव तीरे नीरवाद्राशनोऽहम् विगत विषय तृष्णा कृष्णमाराधयामि विगत विषय तृष्णा कृष्णमाराधयामि सकल कलुषभङ्गे स्वर्ग सोपान संगे सकल कलुषभङ्गे स्वर्ग सोपान संगे धरण तर तरंगे देवी गंगे प्रसीद प्रसीद की परछाइयाँ दिखती तेरे आंचल तले। माँ तेरी हर बूंद में बहती हुई ममता मिले। तू हथेली तन पे फेरे मन को भी निर्मल करे। जिस तरह को तू छुए जीवन से उसको सींच दे। लेके आया है कोई बस पाप तुझको सौंपने। फिर भी तू बहती चले सबको लगा करके गले। स्वाद अमृत का तुझे ही चूम कर जाना। प्रसीदा 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 प्रसीदा। नमामि गंगे 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 पानी जो तेरा खारा तेरे आंसू की धारा कैसे मैं देखूं संतान हूँ। माना है तुझे माँ ये धर्म है मेरा। मैं तुझे तेरा वो सम्मान दूँ। नमामि गंगे नमामि गंगे नमामि गंगे
Okay. Thank you for a wonderful performance. Now I request our revered Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor M. Vijay Kumar Sir, to step forward and deliver a welcome address.
Our Honorable Chancellor, Professor K.C. Reddy Garu, the Dean, Indian School of Business, Professor Madan Garu, the Deputy Dean, Indian School of Business, Professor Deepa Garu, the team from Indian School of Business, Praveen, Varshita, our directors of the 4 campuses, Nuzvid campus, Professor Srinivasra Garu, RK Valley campus, Professor Sandhya Rani Garu, Srikakulam campus, Professor Jagadish Rao Garu, Ongole campus, Professor Jairam Reddy Garu, the Registrar of the University, Professor Gopal Raj Garu, the senior professors or adjunct professors of our university, the eminent professors from other universities who are helping us for the development of this university. Professor Mohan Rao Garu, Professor K.V. Rao Garu, Professor Sudhakar Babu Garu, the statutory officers of all the 4 campuses, the staff of all the 4 campuses, both teaching and non-teaching, the students of all the 4 campuses of RGUKT, press and media, and ladies and gentlemen. I take this opportunity to welcome for this particular inaugural function of RGUKT-ISB Collaborative Capacity Building Program. At the outset, I just wanted to congratulate or appreciate my yoga instructor and the 2 teams of yoga. Really, it has taken some time for me to come out of that particular anxiety or tension, whatever you say. Really, it's a marvelous presentation by both the team. I appreciate them for this particular one. But in our university, this is a very, very important day. It's not a possible thing for any university to get ISB for training their students. And it was made possible only by our Honorable Chancellor, Professor K.C. Reddy Garu. I request all of you, please give a big applause for Professor K.C. Reddy Garu. And at the same time, it is equally important that without the support from the Dean ISB, Professor Madan, and Deputy Dean, Professor Deepa, this program would have not been possible. Really, I thank them and ISB team consisting of Praveen and Varshita, because Varshita is helping us from day 1 of this particular one. And all of you know that RGUKT has entered into a memorandum of understanding with ISB and 12th April 23. And as per this particular MOU, ISB will deliver 3 things to RGUKT. The first one is social and emotional learning for the students, and this will be in a phased manner for the next 4 years to come. In the first year, we said it is 250 students from each campus, 250 into 4, it is 1,000. In the next year, we said 500 each campus, 500 into 4, it is 2,000. And the next year, we said it is 1,000 from each campus, 1,000 into 4, it is 4,000. And in the last 4th year, we said it 2,000 into 4, it becomes 8,000. Totally, in a phased manner, for the next 4 years, we are going to train our students in social and emotional learning and to impart this social emotional skills. So that is the objective with which this particular MOU was signed on 12th April 23. So as per this particular one, I am telling you why ISB is so important. So for the sake of the student, I'll tell you, ISB is the Indian School of Business established at Hyderabad, and their admission is not based on the national merit, it is based on international merit. Normally, they'll admit the students based on the GMAT score, not the CAT score. They'll admit only through GMAT. So that is the importance of this particular school. I will tell you the very importance of this particular school. ISB is a top-ranked global business school offering world-class management education with many firsts to its credit. The first one is the youngest school ever to consistently rank among global MBA programs. The first South Asian business school to receive the international AACSB accreditation. This AACSB is Association to Advanced Collegiate Schools of Business. So they have international accreditation. One among the largest providers of executive education in Asia, the most research productive Indian management institutions. These are the credentials of ISB. So such a wonderful university school is coming forward to help the students of RGUKT. And the second deliverable from ISB is faculty training, online or offline. We say it is faculty development, or we say it is training the trainers. So it is not only for the next 5 years to come, we wanted to impart this social and emotional learning or the skills to the students forever. I'll tell you what is the importance of these particular skills or learning. Then on the side, for the sake of ISB team, I just wanted to put forth our credentials. RGUKT was established in the year 2008 with unique pedagogy, that is learning by doing, and initially admitted the top 1% of the 10th class passed rural students into its 6-year integrated program. The initial selection was based on the Mandal Best model. From each Mandal, we used to get one meritorious student into the RGUKT. That was the admission in the initial days. At present, the admissions are based on merit at 10th class by giving 4% deprivation score to government school students. This year, the cutoff marks for admission across all categories and in all 4 campuses was around 572. Such is the merit of the students of RGUKT. And I said, this RGUKT was established in the year 2008 with a visionary leader whose vision, Dr. Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy, he has visioned this particular program because he wants to help all the rural students with professional engineering education. So with that particular one, they have started this particular institution in the year 2008 with Professor Raj Reddy as the first founder chancellor of this particular university. And almost all the universities in the state or across the nation, they have started thinking of online education only after pandemic or during pandemic. But here, because of the unique pedagogy of this particular university, with the founder chancellor, this university has implemented this right from its starting date, that is in 2008. So everything here, mentor and mentee system is there, and all the students, they'll go through all the content that is available, and any doubts are there, mentors used to clarify. So this type of system is there right from day one of the institution establishment. So that is the credential of our this thing. And as part of the MOU, ISB will develop and deliver social and emotional learning curriculum through a mix of 60 asynchronous recorded sessions by ISB faculty and industry experts, and deploy these into ISB learning management system. This learning program emphasizes social and emotional skills to the same degree as other subjects. This course seeks to enhance the effectiveness of interpersonal interactions of individuals and empower them with skills required to work effectively, including addressing different challenges. So according to my understanding about this particular program, I'll just put it in this way. The social and emotional learning is commonly defined as the process of acquiring core competencies to recognize and manage emotions, set and achieve goals, appreciate the perspectives of others, establish and maintain positive relationships, make responsible decisions, and handle interpersonal situations constructively. Social emotional learning has been emerging as an effective process for cultivating the necessary skills, attitudes, competencies, and knowledge to learn and achieve well-being and success. These skills help to create a safe space for everyone to learn together and grow into an understanding and empathetic adult. People with strong social emotional skills are better equipped to manage daily challenges, build positive relationships, and make informed decisions. According to Collaborative for Academic, Social and Emotional Learning, social and emotional learning is an integral part of education and human development. So, social and emotional learning is the process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, and achieve personal and collective goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain supportive relationships, and make reasonable and caring decisions. These skills can be taught and learned from preschool through adulthood. This becomes important as people are not born knowing how to manage emotions, solve problems, and get along with others. Technology has been leveraged by the various educational communities to reach out to the students with various platforms like WhatsApp, video calling, Zoom, Google Classrooms, radio, television, etc., and make them feel less isolated. The report titled New Vision for Education, Fostering Social and Emotional Learning Through Technology by World Economic Forum and the Boston Consulting Group concludes that technology can help students develop important social and emotional skills and character traits. India has also seen a phenomenal shift in the approach where the focus of education is to develop human beings capable of rational thought and action, possessing compassion and empathy. The new education policy talks about social emotional learning for the holistic development of the child. In a similar direction, the health and wellness curriculum for school-going adolescents under the Ayushman Bharat scheme has been launched. State education departments are also actively prioritizing the momentum around social and emotional learning. Happiness curriculum is one such initiative aimed at improving the mental well-being of students, developing their level of mindfulness, critical thinking, and problem solving. Technology is seen as a potential tool for parents, educators, or caregivers to complement and extend such learning experience, especially given the host of emerging technologies that go beyond additional screens. Technologies such as virtual, augmented, and mixed reality, robots, video charts and mobile devices, and virtual tutors allow for a much less passive and more interactive experience. The CASIL framework addresses 5 broad, interrelated areas of competencies that can be taught and applied at various developmental stages for childhood to adulthood and across diverse cultural contexts to articulate what students should know and be able to do for academic success, school and civic engagement, health and wellness, and fulfilling careers. So the 5 broad interrelated competencies are: one is self-awareness, that means understanding one's own thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Self-management, that is controlling the thoughts, emotions, and feelings. Then social awareness, that means understanding the others. Relationship skills, effective communication and connecting with others. Then finally, using all these particular skills to make informed and effective decisions, or I can say responsible decision making. And similarly, like this CASIL, which is a US-based foundation, we have SEAL, that is Social and Emotional Aspects of Learning. It's a UK-based one. And in the Indian context, it is ISEL, that is Indian School and Emotional Learning Framework. So these are the foundations that are helping to impart this particular social and emotional learning. So integrating social and emotional learning into the education system will witness a new era of digital learning and will be able to address all the core values which make us most human. and has seen in one of the sites about the social emotional learning as a 2-credit course for a 15 weeks duration. If I look at the syllabus, the chapter 1, if you look at only the contents, chapter 1 is about introduction, in that self-awareness and happiness. Then chapter 2 is about social relations and mindfulness. Then chapter 3 is about identity, self-image, status, self-worth, digital identity. And chapter 4 is about lifestyle choices, stress and its management. So if you look at this particular one, as per the MOU, we need to keep this as an elective for the next 5 years to come. And after looking at the benefits of this particular social emotional learning and the social emotional skills, I think it is required forever. It is required forever in the curriculum. That's why I think we can continue with this particular subject for our students. So here, social skills means, they said, verbal and non-verbal communication or interaction skills. Emotional skills, ability to understand and regulate thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Similarly, mental skills are concentration, will, and emotional balance. So, I'm sure with the support from ISB, all our students will be equipped with these particular social and emotional skills which will benefit them in their future. So, I once again thank ISB team for helping RGUKT in this particular respect. Thank you one and all for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Praveen and Varshita to give an introduction about the social and emotional learning program. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Respected sirs, thank you for having me here. I wanted to, along with Varshita, take you through the program, the social emotional learning program, which Professor Vijay Kumar talked about, and give you a little more detail about it, right? So we are going to kind of switch and then tell you more about the program. But I want to kind of recall the learning motto, right? I heard about in 2008, where it goes to say, learning to learn, learning to think, and learning to live, right? So this is one of the frameworks which I'm familiar with, that RGUKT curriculum and the education is all designed, right? So I think the social emotional learning program is going to strengthen that sort of framework. It's very much in line to that. So we'll take you through what unfolds in this program. So we'll wait for the slide deck to come up, and then Varshita will take us through various courses that are part of this program. Can we go to the next slide? So I think the protocol is you hit next slide and it will go. Next slide.
Hi, good evening, everyone. First of all, it's an honor to interact with this incredibly brilliant bunch of students. We've heard so much from Chancellor Sir and your Vice Chancellor, and it's exciting that we're starting off with RGUKT as our first partner for this program. Now, within the next slide, please. Within this program, we've tried to bucket your subjects or modules into 3 buckets. The first one would be you working intensively on yourself. So our first module within that is leading self, which will give you understanding into what you're feeling and how to handle that emotion, right? It will help you become more self-aware so that you understand your emotions and also develop in you that sense of empathy for yourself and for your friends. Next slide, please. The second one is inculcating a growth mindset. So once you are more self-aware, we want to orient you towards building yourself up for growth and success, both in your personal and academic and professional lives. So that it will be our next module under this program. Next slide, please. The third module under the socio-emotional learning program is the module based on critical thinking. So once you've inculcated the mindset, how do you go about making decisions that would put you or set yourself up for success? That is the module on critical thinking, where you will be introduced to decision models, you will be introduced to multiple perspectives and then nudged towards arriving at the right or the most rational decision in that context. That is your first bucket of subjects under the socio-emotional learning program. Next slide, please. Now, the second bucket of modules under the socio-emotional learning program, they deal extensively with your communication skills. Because once you've worked on yourself, you should also be able to relay that in your everyday conversations and in your professional conversations. Within the bucket for communication, we have effective verbal and non-verbal communication. How do you speak? How do you write? All of that is covered under this basic course on communication. But building on that, the next slide, please. Building on effective verbal and non-verbal communication is what you have as presentation and public speaking. How do you speak more effectively in front of a larger crowd? How do you understand the crowd's method of, receiving and analyzing information, and how do you present information in that manner? And the next one is the art of storytelling. Next slide, please, which would enable you to present to or tailor your presentations to or customize your presentations to the audience that you're speaking to. Now, the last bucket of courses under the socio-emotional learning program are courses that will set you up for both academic and professional success. Next slide, please. Yeah. So under the art of networking, what you will learn is how to network effectively in your college or university context, in an internship context, or say when companies are coming in with your research projects, how do you network with the people that you're interacting with, and also how to leverage this network for success later on in your professional life. Next slide, please. The second module under this third bucket relating to building you up for professional success is the module on creating your own personal brand. So how do you differentiate yourselves? Within your campus, how do you build a brand for yourself? When you join your next internship or your next job, how do you differentiate yourselves from the rest so that you stand out from the rest? That will be the module on building your personal brand. And the last one is acing your job interview. This course module will give you keys to success in your interview and also build your skill set and mindset for giving out successful interviews. And we're hoping that the entire program will build you up for success, not just in your professional life, but also for success in personal relationships. I will hand over to Praveen. He's come up with some incredible features within the app to enhance your learning experience.
Thank you, Varshita. So you saw the list of courses there. In the afternoon, we went through your academic block, various things that all of you are working on. All of these are very hard skills, right? These are technical skills, extremely hard to pick up, and it's delightful to see how immersed you were in the library and various places. Now, these courses, right, if you look at it, they're more, labeled as soft skills, right? But the soft skills, these skills are very, very hard to learn. Right? That's the paradox. You feel like, when you go through it, you understand it, but when it comes to practicing, it's a completely different game. So how did we package all of this learning, for you? We know that you understand learning by doing. You are tech savvy, you know how to use your laptop, smartphones. So we have taken advantage of all of the features that we have in your hands, which is the tech, and then try to put all of these courses so that you get maximum learning outcomes from there. So let's take a glimpse of that. So you will encounter a lot of new vocabulary as part of these courses, right? These new words will be there, the new concepts that you will, come up with. How do you deal with them, right? I saw a lot of you taking notes when you're listening to YouTube videos or videos from MOOC courses. Notes is great, right? And it helps. You also need recall, right? You need to refresh your memory. And we have built all of those features in. So let's quickly take a look at what those are so that you understand how the learning actually happens. Next slide, please. So the first thing is, you might find that, the videos, the English that is used, if it is very hard for you, you have support where you can read along with listening. So it kind of aids in comprehension. You'll pick up new vocabulary and so on. So one of the things, next slide please. One of the things that you will find is there is new word. I don't know what the meaning is. I don't know how to pronounce it sometimes. I've never heard of it. So you can go tap on that word, and then without leaving your learning window, you can learn that word, right? You get to know the meaning. You get to know the pronunciation. Better still, this word, your computer remembers that you tapped on it, so that it will bring up into your memory multiple times as notifications, so that you kind of recall, right? That's how we acquire new words, new concepts, we refresh our memory. So all of those are built into this platform. Next slide, please. Note taking, there are several methods out there. Sometimes we take notes by rote, meaning we don't make sense of the concept, but we just write it down. It could be because we have to write an exam, and so it's helpful to revise. But then there are also some other methods we have researched. Cornell note-taking format is one of them, and you will be able to take notes on your paper and pen, although you're using technology, but you take pictures of those. Why? Because you may need to recall some of that at various times. So the app kind of takes care of that, manages that information for you. Next slide, please. So a lot of learning happens not when it goes in, but when it comes out, right? So you'll need to not just listen to videos or read things, but your ability to explain it to yourself, and also try to pronounce, if you had to explain it to someone, how do you articulate that? How do you pronounce various words that are there? So this gives you an opportunity where at the end of the lesson, you try to self-explain using the app, and then the app also tries to check how you're pronouncing, gives you some of the nudges to see if it doesn't recognize the words. So that way you can also go back and improve your pronunciation skills. Next slide, please. Next one, I think we talked about the comprehension part. We all need some motivation. We need to measure our learning. And so what we have done here is every time you pick up a skill, a micro skill, you kind of get a badge reminding you that you picked up the skill. Now again, this is important because you need to track all the skills that you're picking up. Again, it's not going to be there in your memory until you recall, right? So what the app does is it kind of comes, checks how long you have, spent on learning a particular skill, how much time elapsed, and if you're likely to forget, it will come back up again, right? So that you can kind of refresh your memory. So these are some of the, features that are part of the learning experience. Next slide, please. So I think, through this program, what we are attempting to do is try to get you future ready, because if you look at once you graduate and get into the real world, it'll throw several surprises. The question is, how are you going to deal with that, right? And hopefully this should prepare all of us, on really dealing with all of them. Thank you.
I am very much delighted to invite Honorable Chancellor Professor K.C. Reddy sir to come over to the dais and occupy his seat. Please welcome sir. I request him to kindly occupy. It's my great pleasure to welcome our esteemed chief guest, Dean of ISB Hyderabad, Professor Madan sir, to the stage and occupy his seat. We are honored to have Professor Madan sir with us today, and we look forward to hearing his insights on our collaboration. Please welcome sir. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you, sir. It's my great pleasure to welcome our guest of honor, Professor Deepa Mani ma'am, to come onto the stage and occupy his seat. Please welcome ma'am. May I request our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Vijay Kumar sir, to come out to the dais and occupy his seat. Now I invite Professor Gopala Raju sir, Registrar RGUKT, to come out to the dais and occupy his seat. Now I invite Director RGUKT-Nuzvid, Professor GVR Srinivas Rao sir, to come out to the dais and occupy his seat. I invite Director RK Valley Campus, Professor Sandhya Rani madam, to come on to the dais. Please welcome ma'am. I invite now Director Ongole Campus, Professor Jairam Reddy sir, to come on to the dais and occupy a seat. Now I invite Director Srikakulam Campus, Professor Jagadish Rao sir, to come on to the stage and occupy it. Now I request Professor K.V. Rao sir, Mohan Rao sir, and Sudhakar Babu sir, Dean of Evaluation, to come on to the stage. Welcome sir. Now I request Dr. Praveen to come on to the stage and occupy his seat, and Varshita ma'am as well. Now I request Chief Administrative Officer Dr. Banu Kiran come on to the stage and occupy his seat. It's my honor to invite our esteemed Chief Guest, Dean of ISB Hyderabad, Professor Madan sir, to discuss about insights of collaboration between ISB and RGUKT. We are privileged to have with us distinguished individual who has made significant contributions in the field of organizational behavior, particularly decision making, negotiations, and much of it has investigated cognitive and motivational biases. Sir also served as a professor organizational behavior at London School of Business. I request Sir to address the gathering. Please, sir.
Good evening. It's an honor, it's a pleasure for me to be here. Don't worry, I won't take too much of your time, so I can see all of you. I saw a few very sensible people leave just a few minutes ago, so I don't want you all to leave before I finish. So I'll take a few minutes of your time. So let me just tell you that for me, this collaboration with you and especially with the students here is something that ISB is going to be incredibly proud of. The reason is very simple. When I heard about RGUKT, I heard about this roughly about a year and a half ago, when Praveen, who was very instrumental when this institution started in about 2008, he told me about the founding of this university, the kind of students who come in here, and what kind of training they receive, and how it is that it is hoped that they will contribute to the world. To me, this is very resonant, because when I look at the world itself, and by the way, the yoga performance was outstanding, really, truly outstanding. And probably one of the reasons you should have come anyway, so I'm not so worried. You came here, you saw a very good yoga performance. But it was also very apt, because when talking about the rivers, right? So the rivers of India, when they were talking about, it also highlights to you what the biggest problems that are facing humanity today is. And one of the biggest problems is, of course, climate change, right? So then we can think of numerous other kind of problems that are out there in the world. So my generation, the generation that kind of did all of these things to the world, it's looking forward to your generation to try and solve all these problems. As you go forward, we're thinking it is you, with your brightness, with your skills, you will be able to solve some of the problems that are very urgent that need to be solved. You also probably know, and if you don't know this, then it's you need to think about it. In terms of the world itself out there, and when we're thinking about the younger kind of population out there, so when you think about the United States, you think not United States so much, but if you think about places like in Europe, you look at all the countries in Europe, you look at places like Japan, what they tend to have is that they have an aging population. They're growing older and older and older, while India has something which we refer to as the demographic dividend. This is the one place in which the number of people who are going to be of working age, it outnumbers consistently the people who are older, who are dependent, older or younger, the people who are dependent. So that's what is the demographic dividend. So the world is looking for places like India with a young population, and a young, bright population like you, to be attempting to solve some of the problems that beset the world. So we need you at that decision-making table, right? We need you there to be there in important positions, in leadership positions, in organizations, in helping solve whatever the problems that are out there in the world. To do that, you need to have a few things, and you have some of them already, right? So you begin with, you have them already. I understand that you are among the top 1% of the 10th standard people who graduate in the 10th standard in AP. That's remarkable. So you're among the brightest of the brightest students that are there in AP, so that's terrific. So intelligence you have that intelligence in spades. The second thing you quite clearly you have is that you work very hard. Otherwise you would not be here. If you hadn't been working hard, you hadn't been getting the marks that you had, you wouldn't have been here. Okay, so you have intelligence, you have hard work. Now what we want is to use your intelligence and your hard work in important positions. So you get into important positions, you get great jobs in great organizations, and you have big influence in the world so that the world can become a better place. In the world, when we think about what is important, so obviously intelligence is important, obviously hard work is important, but what are the other qualities that are important? And those are some of the qualities that this course is attempting to get to build to you. I won't have, like, I'm not arrogant enough to believe that this one course that ISB does is going to help create all of those skills, but it is a first step. It's a first step for you to start to pick up certain skills which will bring you onto the decision-making tables, which will help you contribute to solving the world problems. So what are those? What are those kind of skills? There is something that we call the learning mindset. As you move forward, as it is, what 5 years ago was what was wisdom, was what people thought was the received state of knowledge, it's changed dramatically. In the last 1 year, knowledge, the way that we think about knowledge itself has changed dramatically. What do humans do versus what do machines do has changed dramatically. All that you have going for you is not what you're going to be picking up in the 6 years. It's in the 6 years if you learned enough to learn more. So you want to develop this whole idea of a learning mindset. As I'm moving forward, I need to be in a permanent state where I'm attempting to learn, So, and that is what we are hoping that one of the components of the course will say, how do I develop that learning mindset if I don't have it? Because constant learning is what you need in order to succeed as you're moving forward. The second thing that you will need to learn, is resilience. I know you've been successful. If you've been in the top 1%, you've got into you've come here into RGUKT, that means you've been very, very successful. If after your 12th standard or what this pre-university course, you've come into engineering, you've been successful again. So you've been used to success, so you've been used to that kind of success. And I wish that you will have success all your life. I really wish you can have that. But most of us, statistically, if you look at, there are going to be periods in time where we are not going to be as successful as we think we should be. So what will keep you going is this notion of resilience. You need to be able to develop resilience. You need to have the ability to say, it's okay if I fail, how do I pick up, how do I go forward? I don't want to give up just because I've had some kind of failure. So that's resilience. So that's the second quality I'm hoping that when we are talking about emotional intelligence here, we're talking about social intelligence here. What it will actually do is that it will help you think about how do I create resilience. That's the second thing. And the third thing, unfortunately, so this is, I need to put this on the table for you. I saw Praveen talk a lot about communication, about pronunciation and so on. So it matters somewhat, okay? So I'm not going to overdo that. I'm not going to say that you need to be able to speak like everybody else who's out there. You have to know one thing, because you're intelligent, because you're hardworking, because you've been to one of the really, really outstanding universities, you had a great education, you have to have the confidence, no matter where you go, you have to have the confidence that you belong. You belong to be in that, you have absolutely every right to be in that place. You have to have that confidence. But along with the confidence, you also need to have the ability to communicate. And that's the third skill that I'm hoping that this particular course will set you off and will start you off on. So I'll stop at this stage and say that if in a small way ISB is contributing towards great and brilliant people like you coming forward and getting into positions that are actually going to be helping society, helping India, helping the world, then I think for us that is one thing that we will be incredibly proud of. This is the reason we signed this MOU. This is the reason that we hope that this is just the first of many such associations as we go forward. Thank you again. Thank you for your patience for listening to this, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your precious words. Certainly, our RGUKT students certainly will follow all this and then they succeed in their life. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your message. It's my great privilege to invite Professor Deepa Mani Madam. Is a faculty in Information Systems area, and she was the Executive Director of Srini Raju Center for Technology and the Network Economy at ISB. She also works closely with central and state governments to explore the impact of technology interventions in areas such as education, healthcare, and urbanization. Now I request Deputy Dean Professor Deepa Mani Ma'am to give her message. Welcome, ma'am.
Good evening. Let me also start by congratulating the team on that incredible yoga performance. That was absolutely amazing. Madan and I were just, we just held our breath probably through the entire performance, so congratulations, that was incredible. I think Madan and I had the identical speech. So, it's, in some ways I'm going to reiterate a lot of what Madan said. But what I did want to do today was tell you a little bit about how we thought through this program. Yeah, that's what I want to do today. And let me begin by saying that, for us, it's a privilege and honor to be part of this association. We consider it incredibly fortunate that we're working with RGUKT to develop this program, which we think is important and impactful. I'll start by that. In conceptualizing this, or in designing this program, we had certain assumptions about how the world is changing. We also wanted to do justice to you, and we wanted to make sure that we were helping you create the best vision of yourself, right? So that was something that was very important for us. We believe that, like Madan said, we obviously, we had certain assumptions about the group of students and, that are sitting in this room today. It was clear that you all are, very intelligent and hardworking. It's also very clear that, you dream big. It's also clear that you've overcome challenges to be here today. And it's also clear that, in some sense, your hopes are bigger than your fears, right? So for us, that was, in some sense, a starting point for us about the program. Then we asked the question, what is it that we can do to complement your journey and help you dream even bigger, right? That's something that we thought about very carefully. And that required us to make some assumptions also about the world that we habit. And we believe that the world is dynamic, it's complex, it's changing. And all of what you've learned and you will learn in the next 6 years is not all that you need as you go out and make your careers, right? We believe you need to unlearn some of it, you'll have to learn new things, and you'll have to do that on a continued basis. And therefore, what we thought would be best is to empower you with a set of skills, behaviors that will help you learn to learn and do that on a continued basis, right? So that's what we wanted to do. The second thing that we wanted to do was we wanted to help you make better decisions. We believe we're living in a world where, like Madan said, there is, technology is going to make some decisions for you perhaps. There's the whole talk about generative AI and the kind of decision making that, has been, in some sense, the range of information that comes your way to make decisions has increased significantly. And in all of that, what becomes important is judgment, right? Even today, you've made a judgment to be here. You've made a judgment about what courses you want to take. Every day you're making judgments. And when you go out in the world of business and you work in organizations, you're going to be confronted with very complex decisions. And we wanted to make sure that, we enhance your decision-making abilities in that setup, right? And therefore, decision-making, improved decision-making, critical thinking to help you overcome your biases. When you've lived a certain way for several years, you think a certain way, right? And it may not be the best way to think. So therefore, how can we help you overcome your biases? How can we help you overcome, what are your fault points to make much better decisions every day? That was the second thing that we thought would be very useful for you. And the third, of course, is in terms of what, we talked about, social intelligence, communication, being able to empathize with others, and being able to communicate in a way that understands what the other person's about, what their reality is. And to be able to do that, with confidence and empathy, right? It was something that we wanted to deliver through this program. And that's what you'll see in this program, right? You'll see a whole set of courses that have been mentioned several times, so I'm not going to repeat it again. but you'll see a whole bunch of courses there which talks to you about decision making, about social intelligence, about self-awareness, about emotional intelligence, and about being able to function in this complex, dynamic world effectively, right? So that's what we've hoped to do with this program. We hope you'll find it useful. We hope it will help you create the impact you seek to create. And you know, every one of you, of course, you know, has their own vision of what they want to be in the world. And we hope that, you know, this will be a small step in helping you achieve that objective and helping you realize, like I started by saying, the best vision of yourself as you go out into the world. Yeah? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam, for your valuable words. It's my honor to invite our Chancellor, Sir, to deliver his insightful remarks that will set the tone of this momentous occasion. Our Chancellor is a visionary leader who played a pivotal role in shaping the academic landscape of RGUKT. With his unwavering commitment to excellence and innovation, he has propelled us to new heights of achievement and brought about positive transformations in the lives of countless individuals. Now I request Sir to address the gathering. Welcome.
Dean ISB, Dr. Madan, Deputy Dean ISB, Professor Deepa, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Vijay Kumar, all my colleagues sitting on the dais, off the dais, all the directors, statutory officers, and more importantly, young student friends. I need to answer first a basic question. Why this MOU with ISB? In fact, I must admit before you, or admit in the presence of the entire ISB team and RGUKT fraternity, that I have been longing for this memorandum or collaboration with ISB. There are more than one reason why I was looking forward for this. Need to go back and ask a question, why RGUKT was started in 2008. It had a mission, it had a vision, and it had an objective and purpose. The purpose, mission, vision was given by Dr. YSR. That was nothing but, it's simple and straight, empowering, meritorious, rural youth, particularly those who have studied in government schools. That was the vision and mission. Well, I've been looking at what has been the outcome of RGUKT graduates. Well, I think at some point of time you need to understand and accept if there are any limitations in fulfilling the dreams for which this institution was started. I felt at times that there are some constraints, some bottlenecks, somewhere where we are not doing what is required to reach out to the global market. YSR's dream was RGUKT should, at that time in 2007 and 8, many people were getting into professional colleges were all from metropolitan cities. Not many, in fact, we analyzed the data at that time, not even 10% of the students coming from small towns, leave alone remote villages and tribal areas, getting into professional colleges. He had a basic question. He asked me, then I requested Professor Raj Reddy to join me, and he put this question: can we solve this problem? Then we came up with this model. It was largely the concept that Professor Raj Reddy brought in, and YSR gave a full support as well as clearance in a matter of few minutes. In a matter of few minutes, you won't believe that. And when we started this entire institution, the bill was passed in the assembly in early March 2008. He asked us, we are starting this institution in September, October. It was a matter of 6 months. 6 months, we had built 3 campuses at Nuzvid, at RK Valley, at Basel. Simultaneously, IIIT supported us in recruiting people, training them, developing the content, and whole thing was available. Simultaneously, we bought uniforms, we bought the laptops, we bought everything. Everything was made available. By end of September, October, we started the classes. If I go back and reflect on that, then is it possible? Or was it possible? How did we do that? But we have done it. But then when I come back and look at it, well, that's the positive side of the story. But an equally important part of the story is, have we realized or have we fulfilled the dream of Dr. YSR? The question that I've been putting to myself repeatedly. The answer is not completely yes. At times I get 40%, at times I get 50%, at times I even get 30%. Then I was looking at what is it that is missing in what we are doing. As Dr. Madan was saying, as all of you know, the cream of the rural and youth who have studied in government schools are getting into RGUKT. I must mention in this connection, of the 10 people who have been nominated to visit the United States, nominated by the state government, 6 are from RGUKT. 6 are from RGUKT. And they were all selected, screened on the basis of merit, on the basis of their exposure and competence. So that speaks about RGUKT. That's what I was telling Dr. Madan and Professor Deepa. We have a good raw material, but then transforming this raw material into a globally acceptable product, finished product, is our biggest challenge. Now we have what we call the way technology, the way employment scenario. Dr. Madan and Professor Deepa, they know it better than any one of us who are sitting here. Dr. Madan travels very frequently to the United States, England, and he teaches in London school. And that he could come down and spend so much time with us this afternoon itself speaks about his passion. How we got into this thinking of having collaboration with ISB. I did not even mention to Dr. Madan. One day Praveen explained to him, but I requested Praveen. I saw an interview of Dr. Madan in Deccan Chronicle, an interview where he mentioned ISB would like to help the vulnerable people from smaller towns, people who deserve. That was something like what you call institutional social responsibility. Well, I am coining that word, like corporate social responsibility. Can't we think in terms of institutional social responsibility? To get into ISB, not possible for me, not possible for many of us here. Somebody was mentioning to Dr. Madan, for your program you require 19 lakhs. He said, with a smile on his face, it's much more now. That's how difficult it is to get into ISB. Then I requested Dr. Praveen, I read an interview of Dr. Madan, I have written a letter to him, but I know very well that given the fact that he is such a busy man, he might have missed it, but why don't you kindly apprise him? That's how it started. Before we got into this MOU finally signed, we have had many rounds of meetings. They have traveled here, we have traveled there many times, and then lot of homework has gone into it. Finally, what is it that you are getting as an outcome? One, you are good in terms of your technical skills, but all my friends who come here, as I think Dr. Madan now know the social background as also the geographical background of the students who get into RGUKT. They have problems of understanding or misunderstanding, problems of coexistence. That's, as somebody was saying, compassion. The passion of Dr. Madan is now combined with his compassion towards RGUKT. And that is making this MOU possible. A platform is created thanks to ISB. I would even say their benevolence towards RGUKT. And this platform will enable you to meet the global, as Dr. Madan himself was saying, that increasingly the problems that you need to solve and resolve are getting increasingly complex. Now today, you not only require technical skills, you require a range of skills that are needed to make yourself acceptable to the global market. I'm not worried about the market that is available in your nearby town or city. I want you to reach out to the global market. That requires what I call a variety of skills apart from your technical skills. It might be social, it might be emotional, it could be behavioral. These are all things that are not part of our curriculum so far. Dr. Madan was asking me a very important question. Are you going to give them grades or grade points for this particular course? Yes. We will take it to the governing council and to the academic council. We will certainly make it. I request our colleagues, directors as well as deans to reflect on this, more particularly to Professor Mohan Rao and Professor K.V. Rao, designing it and making it a part of curriculum. But in the initial discussion, our friends from, I think Deepa was not there at that point of time, other friends who were there representing ISB were asking me, can we start with 3,000, 4,000? I said, I always believe in starting on a smaller scale, build on that. So I suggested we start on a small scale, build on it, and over the years, will ensure that every student who is admitted into RGUKT will go through this training as such. Because we strongly feel that it will help you to make yourself competitive or to meet the requirements of a competitive world. That's where we are. Apart from capacity building, supporting the students, the MOU would also take into consideration two other equally important aspects. I was in fact telling our friends from ISB, I have in mind a fourth one also, which is not part of the MOU, but which ultimately, if not during when I am around, but at least subsequently, my successors will take this into or make it a reality. That is, ISB and RGUKT together should start a MS Public Policy. That's my dream. The dream that need to be, I think, taken to its logical end. But for now, these are the three things that are already an integral part of the MOU. And my colleagues here and who are there in other campuses, probably watching this on live, and students from other campuses, say, look, because we are having it in Nuzvid, it is not just exclusive to Nuzvid. This facility is available to all the 4 campuses. All the colleagues in other campuses too can make or take advantage of this program. ISB Advantage. They call it ISB Advantage. ISBX is ISB Advantage. The advantage is only, I said, as a platform, it is available. Well, given a platform, automatically it will not give you. While we were children, somebody used to tell us, no, if you don't read the book, keep it under your pillow, it will transform you. Nothing like that will happen. You need to read it. You need to get benefit of that, you need to read it. So therefore, my advice to all my colleagues, we have ultimately, in fact, that's what I was telling to Dr. Praveen and all my friends in ISB, ultimately, we want this ISB Advantage program to become an integral part of the RGUKT philosophy itself. The MOU is for 4 years, 5 years. It could be extended by another 5 years, 4 years, depending upon our requirement. But ultimately, RGUKT must build these things into its curriculum, build these things into as an integral part of RGUKT pedagogy. And that, I think, we are sure that we will get this kind of support that is required from ISB. I am personally happy, grateful to Dr. Madan and his colleagues for coming down here. Reaching out to ISB for many of you would be, I will not say impossible, extremely difficult. Now ISB has come here. ISB is here with you, and it's reality. And all of you, I think, need to thank. And the only way that we can thank them would be, he has come forward to help you. You need to utilize it. Utilize it. At the end of the day, taste of fooding is in eating. I think you would know the benefit of this program. I need not tell you about the branding of, in fact, Dr. Madan was asking me, RGUKT is doing such good work and why it is not known elsewhere. I told him that we are not strong in marketing. I would even say we don't have a marketing network at all. But probably we'll make a beginning of this. ISB program will make RGUKT known to the rest of the world. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And entire RGUKT fraternity are grateful to you and to ISB for this wonderful gesture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now, as a token of appreciation, we would like to felicitate Dr. Madan, Deputy Dean Sir, and Deputy Dean Professor Deepa Ma'am. And I request all the dignitaries on the dais to join for this special moment. Please. Thank you for all the dignitaries. Please. Finally, to express our gratitude and close the event, I invite the Director of Nuzvid Campus, Professor G.V.R. Srinivasarao sir, to deliver the vote of thanks.
On behalf of the entire RGUKT and on my own behalf, I profusely thank Professor M. Vijay Kumar, the Vice Chancellor, for his idea of explaining about the responsible decision making and how this particular program will be useful for this responsible decision making. I profusely thank Ms. Varshita for explaining the course structure to our students, and Dr. Praveen for elaborating the importance of this particular course. Sir, our heartfelt thanks are due to Professor Madan, the Dean ISB, how this particular program will be helpful to develop a skill set to provide decision-making abilities in this present-day societal problems, to provide solutions to the present-day societal problems. Also, sir, we are very much thankful to you because your action in this particular regard framing this particular program for the benefit of our students. Nearly 15,000 students will be imparted with this particular course, knowledge of this particular course in the coming 4 years, keeping in line with the idea of our Honorable Chancellor, sir, that is the Institute Social Responsibility, ISR. I'm also very much thankful to Professor Deepa for explaining well how this particular program will be useful and what are the changing dynamics of the decision making and how this program will be useful in this changing dynamics. Sir, Honorable Chancellor, sir, I'm very much thankful to you for making so many faculty members who have been working still from 2008 who are present here, and also to the present media here, how your vision of the journey of rediscovery of the vision and mission of RGUKT, that is empowering the rural youth, using this particular program. In this age of multiple intelligences, how your wish of all these students to become acceptable at global levels is really worth noting, sir. And we all wish that your vision, your idea will be fruitful in the coming years. I'm also thankful to the Department of Music for their beautiful invocation song, and also thankful to Department of Yoga for your scintillating performance. And my thanks are due to all the faculty members present here, the student friends, the present media, both electronic and print. I also thank all the civil and electrical staff, security, the NCC, the student volunteers, everyone who took part in this present day program and made it as a grand success. Thank you very much.
Now I request everyone to join us for National Anthem.
Thank you.